Hey everybody, my name is Elijah Muse and I want to welcome you to Gifted Hands School of Music, where we are dedicated to helping you learn the language of music and love every step of the process. So today we're going to be covering how to make any song sound jazzy. So I'm going to give you 3 simple steps that you can use today to take any song from any genre, any style of music, and you can make it sound jazzy. So let's get right into it. So we're gonna take a simple song, actually a simple chord progression, which is just gonna be, we're gonna be in the key of F, okay? So in the key of F major, our scale is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, okay? We're gonna take chord progression out of this key, and we're gonna implement 3 steps that we can use to make it sound jazzy. Okay, so here's a chord progression. So we're on the 6, D minor, 4, 1. Okay, that's a chord progression. D minor, B flat, F major. One more time. This is a 6, 4, 1. Okay, so simple chord progression. It's used in many songs. I think Sam Smith uses that in one of his songs. But that's the chord progression, and now we're gonna implement the 3 steps to make it sound a little bit jazzier. And you can use this, like I said, in any song, in any genre. If you feel like there's a song with a simple chord progression, but you're trying to figure out ways that you can make it sound more full, okay? And more jazzy, more give it a gospel-y type of sound. So step 1 is going to be using chord extensions. All right, so with this chord progression that we have, 6, 4, 1, right? So it's D minor, B flat, F. These are very simple triads, just 3-note triads, right? So the first thing we can do to make this sound a little bit jazzier is going to be add chord extensions. So instead of playing a regular D minor chord, what I can do is add a D minor 7 chord. So if you don't know what chord extensions are, we have a chord, right? So we have D minor, we'll take for instance. This is a D minor triad, the 1, the minor 3rd, and the 5th. So what you can do is these notes are taken from a D minor scale. Right? So the 1 of the scale, the minor 3rd of the scale, and the 5 of the scale. So to add extensions, when we say we're adding extensions, all I'm doing is going to be taking other notes from the scale. So we have 1, 3, and 5 from the D minor scale. So I can also add a 7 to the scale to give it more color and give it more emotional depth, right? Another extension you can add, since I'm on the 7, this would be 8 or 1. I can add the 9. This is the 9 or the 2. So this would be a D minor 9 chord. And like I said, you're getting these notes by just counting up the D minor scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 1, and then 9. Okay, so we can add chord extensions to all of the chords in our progression or in our song. So let's just do that. So we have D minor. I'm gonna play D minor 7. So I was playing B flat major triad, so I added the 2. And then here I added the 2 as well. Okay, so I'm adding more extensions as we go along. So those are all, that's the same chord progression. Now what I did to make it sound more full is add these chord extensions. So D minor triad turned into D minor 7 or a D minor 9, right? This B flat major chord turned into B flat major, add 2. Or you can play B major 7, B flat major 7, sorry, B flat major 7, or B flat major 9. This is the 9, this is the major 7, okay? And then you can play F major 7 or F major 9, any chord extension that fits your ear that sounds good to you. All right, so one more time with added chord extensions. First, I'll play it the simple way, and then I'll start adding chord extensions. Here we are. One more time. Okay, so that's chord extension. That's step one. You can add chord extensions to any chord in a chord progression or in a song to give it more color and to give it more depth. So step number 2 is going to be, you can add passing chords to a chord progression. And the passing chord that we're going to look at and focus in on today is going to be the secondary dominant chord. Secondary dominant, okay? And so what a secondary dominant is, since we're in F major, right? All right, so let's say we're going from the D minor to the B flat minor, okay? So a secondary dominant is going to be a chord if B flat is my target tone or my target chord. This B flat chord is my target chord. Then a secondary dominant is going to be a chord that I'll put before the B flat that's going to kind of be a detour that I'm going to take. So I'm at the D minor, I want to go to the B flat, right? So instead of going straight to the B flat, I'm going to hit a secondary dominant that's going to give me some tension and it's going to help me transition to B flat, okay? So a secondary dominant, to find what a secondary dominant is, you take the chord that you want to go to. So in this case, I'm looking at B flat. You count a fifth away, perfect fifth away from your target chord or note. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so I have F here. So you take that note that's a fifth away from the chord you want to go to, and all you have to do is make it a dominant chord. So that would be F dominant, okay? So this would be the progression now. So that's the secondary dominant, F dominant. And so what I did was I took the F dominant and then I added a couple color tones or extensions, the 13 and the 9. But you could just play F dominant. Okay? So secondary dominance, that's what it is, and you can put it anywhere essentially. So there's 3 main chords to this progression, right? So I can put secondary dominance anywhere in the progression to help me get to or lead into whatever chord I want to go to. So say I want to put a secondary dominant going into the D minor chord, right? If I'm going to D minor, to find the secondary dominant for D minor, I start at D and I count a fifth away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's A. And I make it a dominant chord, okay? Or that's A7. All right, so then I would throw that in there before I get to the D minor. That acts as a transition. So let's try that. So that is the secondary dominant going into D minor, right? So A7 is a secondary dominant that helps us go into D minor. So that is technique number 2, adding secondary dominants to your chord progression and using them as passing chords to help you get from each chord in the progression. So step 3 for making any song sound jazzy is going to be adding fills and licks into the song to break up some of the dead space and to give it more flavor. All right, so there's so many techniques when it comes to playing licks, playing fills. It really depends on the song and the context of the song, like what do you want it to sound like. But I'm just gonna give you a few examples here in this chord progression that we have. Okay, so those are just some fills that you can use that would work. Let's look at some fills that you can use with this song. So one simpler fill that I like to use, it's like a blues technique. I think I got that from kind of blues influences. But it's pretty much, I use like an anchor note at the top. And then I use the other notes of the scale. So I'm basing all of this off of the F major scale since we're in F major, right? So I like to use one note on top as an anchor. And then I kind of walk up and down the scale, and it just kind of, it's me expressing something on the piano, right? Okay, so that is the way you use that. Like I said, you just find the anchor note. And you move up and down the scale with your thumb while your pinky stays on the anchor note, okay? Another technique that you can use is playing a lick. So, or adding like a melody line, right? Okay, so you can add any type of fill, in a lick or a fill is, or a lick specifically, is just going to be you taking notes out of a scale. So in this case, with this chord progression, I would take notes, any note from the F major scale, and I can add them in any order I want. Literally, you can just press, you can press any note in the F major scale. So you know you have all these notes to choose from. These are all the notes from the F major scale. Take any of them and just put them together, and then you have a lick. Okay, so that is the third technique, like I said, is adding fills, licks, and runs to a song to fill up some of the dead space and give it more of a jazzy, soulful, gospel sound. Okay, so I hope this lesson helped you today. I hope it helped someone. If you have any questions, please comment down below, and I would be glad to answer those questions. We have more lessons coming this week. If you haven't signed up already, also, we just launched recently, this previous week, Gifted Hands Music Academy, which is a music school where I am able to give my students very focused attention, along with having me as your mentor in this academy to answer any questions, to go in depth with you and help you achieve the goals you want. You will also get MIDI files, chord charts, and other learning documents or learning resources that we have attached to these and other lessons. Okay, so I'm also going to put the description if you want to sign up for Gifted Hands Academy in the description box. I'll put the link in the description box. But until I see you next time, I hope you all have an amazing day. I hope to see you soon, and I will be back.